Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today. So let's start with The Undertaker has been part of the pro wrestling business for well over 3 decades and has worked with quite a few talent throughout his career. This includes CM Punk, and now the dead man recalled the time CM Punk made a boastful claim about Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, only to be humbled later. CM Punk made his way to WWE in 2006 where he joined the company's reboot of ECW. During his time in the show, the Second City Saint worked with the likes of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. In 2006, WWE headed to Camp Victory in Baghdad for its annual Tribute to the Troops show. The flight had several WWE superstars such as The Undertaker, JBL, Bobby Lashley, CM Punk, Shelton Benjamin, and more. While speaking on his 6 Feet Under podcast, the WWE Hall of Famer talked about the time 2 legitimate fights took place on the flight, as CM Punk took on Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin in shoot fights. In the end, Punk got bested by both in under a minute. Undertaker said, "We're drinking, everyone is carrying on." Somehow or another, the discussion comes up. I don't know if Vince instigated this one or not. Bradshaw was on this flight too. The topic comes up as we're on the way over. CM Punk, he fashioned himself as a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Someone broached the question, "You did jiu-jitsu? How long do you think you could last with one of these 2 wrestlers?" It was Bobby Lashley, who wrestled for the Army, and Shelton Benjamin, who wrestled at Minnesota. 2 high-level amateur wrestlers. To Phil's credit, he said, "I'll tap them out." That was about all it took. Now, the pot begins to really get stirred. Shelton, at this time, he didn't drink at all. I remember Vince pouring a styrofoam cup full of wine, and Shelton just gulps it down. I honestly can't remember who went first. There is not a lot of room. It's tight, but there's enough room. I want to say the first match lasted about 47 seconds. The other one was sub 40, where they had taken them down and pinned him. He didn't back down, but my goodness, it was like blood in the water and 2 great white sharks circling. They could not wait. They didn't disappoint. That was another fine case of Vince McMahon disturbing. What's your opinion on what The Undertaker said? Are you surprised something like this happened? The next story is about the Second City Saint has appeared on Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and NXT Deadline after he returned to the company last month. It has become quite clear that Punk is more than happy being back in his home, WWE. CM Punk and MJF feuded throughout the end of 2021 and into 2022, with their dog collar match at AEW Revolution last year capping off their feud. Sadly, they never finished their trilogy encounter. While speaking on the SI Media with Jimmy Traina, MJF was asked about CM Punk's return to WWE. The AEW World Champion made it clear he was happy about CM Punk's WWE comeback. MJF said, "One of the greatest feuds, I'll just say this, the greatest feud of the modern era was me versus CM Punk, I think, and that happened on AEW television. No, I was happy for him. Listen, if he's happy, I'm happy. I think he's a hell of a talent, and at the end of the day, it's a business. For some reason with wrestling, it's looked at differently than any other sport. I see guys get traded to different teams all the time. That's just life. So he did what he felt was best for him, and the company did what they felt was best for the company. So I just hope he's happy. I wish him the best of luck." What do you think of what MJF said? Are you looking forward to CM Punk's booking in WWE? The final story is about Mercedes Moné was once thought to be sure thing for AEW, but that hasn't happened yet. Now, as we approach the end of 2023, her name is churning in the rumor mill in a big way. Mercedes Moné could make a return to WWE at this point. The company is certainly different, no longer run by Vince McMahon's creative decisions that caused her to walk out in April 2022. Sean Sapp noted during a Q&A behind Fightful's paywall that he hasn't heard of any talks between Mercedes Moné and WWE. It was also noted that any working plan that AEW had to bring in the former Sasha Banks are no longer happening. That makes us have to wonder what is in the pipeline for the boss. Sean Sapp said, "I haven't heard anything except that the once working plans for Mercedes and AEW are no longer working plans. Mercedes Moné did her thing in Japan, and she raked up a lot of memories. She also still has very close ties to many WWE superstars, and the company is under a new regimen of leadership with Triple H in control. WWE's Royal Rumble event is going down on January 27 in Tropicana Field. It would be very interesting to see Mercedes Moné make a return at that big event, and the timing may be perfect as well. Only time will tell if Mercedes Moné makes her way to WWE. At this point, Tony Khan's plan to bring her into AEW are apparently not happening. What's your take on Mercedes Moné returning to WWE? Thanks guys for watching and please subscribe.